Why the EV industry has a massive supply problem? Ever wonder why there are so many supply problems with electric cars right now, even though they're being hailed as the future of transportation? Just imagine a world where people really want EVs, but makers are having a hard time keeping up. Why is there a shortage of these things? And how does that affect the future of eco-friendly travel? In spite of the fact that it was once considered to be the transportation sector of the future, the electric vehicle industry is today struggling with a significant supply issue. This problem is not only a little bump in the road, rather, it is a complicated obstacle that has an impact on the entire ecosystem of electric vehicle production, ranging from shortages of raw materials to disruptions in supply chain operations. To have a better understanding of the scope of this issue, it is necessary to take a closer look at a number of important elements that are contributing to the supply crunch. Shortages of raw materials are the first issue. The shortage of raw materials is one of the key reasons for the supply challenges that have been occurring in the electric vehicle industry. The use of lithium, cobalt, and nickel are among the materials that are necessary for electric vehicle batteries, particularly lithium-ion batteries. The increase in the manufacture of electric vehicles has resulted in a boom in demand for these materials. Nevertheless, the supply chain has been struggling to keep up with demand. Because lithium is such an important component of electric vehicle batteries, the demand for it has surged. On the other hand, the extraction and processing of lithium are not exactly as rapid and scalable as is required. Due to the fact that significant lithium reserves are situated in countries such as Australia, Chile, and China, the geopolitical landscape is complicated and supply chain vulnerabilities are present. A further component that is necessary for the manufacturing of batteries is cobalt. However, the majority of the supply of this element is located in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, a country that is plagued by political instability and ethical problems. Ongoing efforts are being made to locate alternate supplies or to produce batteries that do not contain cobalt. Nevertheless, these efforts have not yet completely addressed the supply challenge. The cathodes of batteries are coated with nickel, which helps to improve their energy density and lifetime. The nickel market is also experiencing difficulties as a result of the high cost of extraction and processing, in addition to the increasing demand for nickel of a high quality. Supply chain disruptions are the second issue. There are several stages involved in the electric car supply chain, beginning with the extraction of raw materials and ending with the assembly of vehicles. Cascading effects can be caused by disruptions at any point in this chain, and they can have an effect on the entire industry. Bottlenecks in the manufacturing process. Because of the restricted capacity of their facilities and the intricate nature of the manufacturing process, battery manufacturers have bottlenecks in their production. It takes a significant amount of time and money to scale up production, which has not yet been able to keep up with the rate at which the demand for electric vehicles is growing. Concerns over logistics, such as delays in shipping and congestion at ports, are another factor that puts pressure on global supply chains. In addition to the continuous impact of the COVID-19 epidemic on global maritime and transportation networks, geopolitical tensions and trade conflicts are also contributing factors that make these challenges even more severe. There is a severe lack of semiconductor chips, which has had a significant impact on the automobile industry, including producers of electric vehicles. These chips are essential for a variety of activities that take place within a car, including advanced driver assistance systems, ADAS, and battery management. As a result of the shortage of chips, production has been slowed down, and in certain instances, manufacturing lines have been stopped. The limitations of the infrastructure are as follows. In order to make the shift to electric vehicles, it is not enough to simply manufacture the vehicles themselves. The infrastructure that supports them is also very important. A big impediment is the absence of adequate infrastructure for charging electric vehicles. At the same time that the number of electric vehicles is increasing, the deployment of charging stations for electric vehicles has not kept up. Potential buyers of electric vehicles have range anxiety as a result of inadequate charging infrastructure, which can have a negative impact on demand and the overall growth of the market. There is a direct correlation between the growing number of electric vehicles and the demand placed on the electrical system. There are numerous areas where the grid infrastructure that is now in place is not capable of managing the additional load. As a result, modifications and expansions are required, which are both expensive and time-consuming. Concerns regarding regulatory and policy matters. The electric vehicle sector is significantly influenced by the laws and regulations enacted by the government. However, despite the fact that numerous governments have implemented subsidies and incentives to stimulate the adoption of electric vehicles, there are also regulatory impediments that can have an effect on supply. Variability in regulatory conditions. The legislation and standards that govern electric vehicles and the components that make them up differ from country to country. This diversity might make things more difficult for manufacturers that are attempting to satisfy the various regulatory standards that are imposed by different markets. dependence on state subsidies. When it comes to making their electric vehicles more affordable, several electric vehicle manufacturers mainly rely on government subsidies and incentives. Alterations in policy or decreases in subsidies can have an effect on the financial sustainability of particular models, which in turn can have an effect on production as a whole. The dynamics of the market. Due to the rapid expansion of the electric vehicle market, there has been an increase in the level of rivalry among manufacturers, which can make supply problems even worse. Increasing levels of competition. In the electric vehicle market, the battle for limited resources and production capacity is intensifying as more automobile manufacturers enter the market. Automobile manufacturers that have been around for a while and those who are just starting out are competing for the same materials and production capabilities, which can result in supply shortages and higher prices. This is the consumer demand. As a result of the fact that the demand from customers for electric vehicles has surpassed the early forecasts, manufacturers are under added pressure to rapidly increase production. On the other hand, on account of the supply chain and production difficulties that were discussed before, the sector has had a difficult time satisfying this demand. Investment and innovation. To overcome supply issues, it is essential to make investments in the electric vehicle sector. However, these investments need to be planned and well coordinated. Mining and processing investments include the following. A substantial amount of money needs to be invested in mining and processing facilities in order to overcome the shortage of raw materials. There is a possibility that the benefits of this investment will not be realized right once because it demands both time and resources. Technological developments. The introduction of solid-state batteries, which are examples of technological developments in the field of battery technology, has the potential to ameliorate certain supply concerns. On the other hand, these technologies are still in the process of being developed and are not yet practical for commercial use on a broad scale. Collaborative efforts and partnership arrangements. The issues that are faced by the supply chain can be effectively addressed through collaborations between automakers, suppliers, and governments. When it comes to finding long-term solutions, partnerships that are centered on the development of new technologies, the improvement of supply chain transparency, and the increase of resource efficiency are absolutely necessary. There are several different aspects to the supply problem that the electric vehicle industry is facing. These aspects include shortages of raw materials, disruptions in supply chains, restrictions in infrastructure, regulatory issues, market dynamics, and the requirement for strategic investment and innovation. To effectively address these difficulties, it is necessary for the entire industry to work together in a coordinated effort, with manufacturers, suppliers, governments, and other stakeholders working together effectively. As the world continues to move towards transportation that is cleaner and more sustainable, it is essential that these supply concerns be resolved in order to guarantee the expansion and success of the electric vehicle sector. By maintaining investments, advancing technological capabilities, and engaging in strategic planning, the industry has the potential to work towards overcoming these difficulties and paving the way for a more environmentally friendly future in the transportation sector. Enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on the latest in EV technology and industry trends? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our in-depth analyses and exciting updates.